I'm your number one fan. I'm your number one fan. I've read everything.
Where am I?
Sidewinder, Colorado. My name is Amy Wilkes, and I am...
Yeah, I know. You're my number one fan.
Yes, that's just what I am. Here, take these. It will help the pain. I've read all of your books at least twice, and the mystery novels, which are my very favorites, 4, 5, even 6 times. I only wish you could write them faster. I just can't get enough of them. When I found you, I could hardly believe my patient was really the Paul Sheldon, even after I checked your ID. Now, why would you get some rest? You'll need it if you want to heal your broken legs. I finally got your book 2 days ago, Mystery's Child. I love it. It's as good as all the rest. Better. Best.
Thank you, but Miss Wilkes, the pain, my legs, please. The pain.
I knew she should marry Ian, and I believe Joffrey and Ian will become friends again. Eventually. Do they? Wait, don't tell me. I want to find out for myself. I'm making it last. It always seems so long before there's another one.
Please, Miss Wilkes, the pain.
Call me Annie. All my friends do. I took the liberty of looking in your little bag. You don't mind, do you?
No, please, but...
I see there's a manuscript in there. It's called Fast Cars. Not a misery novel, I know that. No cars in the 19th century, fast or otherwise. Haha. I always took the liberty of glancing through it. You don't mind, do you?
No, of course not, but the medicine.
And if I read it, you wouldn't mind if I read it?
No.
Because I would never presume to do such a thing without your permission. I would never.
Okay, but can I please just have the pills with my legs?
Paul, I've read 40 pages of your manuscript book, and I don't think it's as good as your others. It's hard to follow and keeps jumping back and forth in time.
Technique. It's technique, that's all it is. The subject dictates the form. The boy's mind, you see, is confused, and so...
Yes! And he's very confused, and that makes him less interesting. And the profanity, every word is that F word. It has no nobility.
Yes, I understand what you mean, Annie. It's true that Tony Bonsaro has no nobility. He's a slum kid trying to get out of a bad environment, you see. And those words, everybody uses those words.
They do not! What do you think I do when I go to the feed store in town? What do you think I say? Now, Tony, give me a bag of that effing pig feed, and some of that bitchly cow corn, and some of that Christing ear mite medicine. And what do you think he says to me? You're effing right, Annie. Come right the F up. And then do I go down the street to the bank and say to Mr. Bollinger, here's one big bastard of a check. You better give me 50 effing dollars just effing quick as you can.
I'm sorry, Annie.
Sure you are! I have such a temper!
I'm sorry.
You should be! You don't say any of these words in your misery book because they didn't use those words back then. They weren't even invented! Animal times demand animal words! I suppose that was better time. You ought to stick to your misery stories, Paul. I say that sincerely as your number one fan. I'll put that manuscript book back in your bag and finish Misery's Child. I may go back to the other one later when I'm done.
Don't do that if it makes you mad. I'd rather not have you mad. I sort of depend on you, you know?
Yes, you do. You do. Don't you, Paul?
Annie, Miss Wilkes, are you all right?
No!
What?
No! You dirty bird!
What? I don't...
She can't be dead! Misery Chastain cannot be dead!
Annie, please!
Dirty bird! Oh, you dirty birdie! How could you?
Annie, in 1871, women frequently died in childbirth. Misery gave her life for her husband, and her best friend, and her child. The spirit of misery will always...
I don't want her spirit. I want her. You killed her. You murdered her.
I didn't kill her.
Of course not. And if you didn't, who did, Paul Sheldon? Who did?
No one. She just died.
You lie. I thought you were good, but you're not good. You're just a lying, old, dirty birdie.
She slipped away, that's all. Sometimes that happens. It was like life, when someone just...
You think I was born yesterday? In my job, I saw dozens of people die. Hundreds now that I think about it. Sometimes they go screaming, and sometimes they go in their sleep, like you said. Sure. But characters in stories do not just slip away. God takes us when it thinks it's time, and a writer is God to the people in a story. He made them up just like God made us, and no one can get a hold of God to make him explain. Alright, okay, but as far as misery goes, I'll tell you one thing, you dirty bird. I'll tell you that God just happens to have a couple of broken legs, and God just happens to be in my house eating my food, and... I think I better go now. I don't think I better be around you for a while. I don't think it's wise.
Go where?
It doesn't matter. A place I know. If I stay here, I'll do something unwise. I need to think. Goodbye, Paul.
Will you be back to give me my medication? Annie? Annie, I'm in terrible pain.
I know, my dear. Soon. But first, you know what you have to do.
No. No.
Yes!
No.
Yes, it's filthy. That aside, it's no good.
You wouldn't know good if it walked up and bit your nose off.
First of all, good would not bite my nose off. Evil might, but not good. Second of all, I do know good when I see it. You are good, Paul. All you need is a little help. Now, take the matches.
No.
Yes.
No.
When you burn it, then I will give you the capsules. All 4 of these. I think. And the pain will go away. You will begin to feel serene again. And you got a hold of yourself. I'll change your bedding. I see you've wet it. And then I'll change you. By then you'll be hungry and I can give you some soup. Perhaps some unbuttered toast. But until you burn it, Paul, I can't do anything. I'm sorry.
You burn it then.
I cannot do that. As much as I'd like to, and spare you the agony you feel.
Why not?
Because you must do it of your own free will. I got you 2 presents while in town today.
Did you?
Here's one. You'll receive the other tomorrow. Now get some rest. Well, what do you think?
It's real nice. A real antique.
So what do you think?
It looks good. What will I write here, do you think?
Oh, but Paul, I don't think. I know. You're gonna use this typewriter to write a new novel. Your best novel. Misery's Return. Yes, it will be a book just for me, Paul. My payment for nursing you back to health. The one and only copy of the newest Misery book. I'll have something no one else in the world has. No matter how much they want it. Think of it.
I'd like some different paper.
You don't want new paper. You just don't want to start this book.
No, this paper, it smudges and it'll get messed up over time.
Fine, I'll get your cock-a-doodie paper. Here's your cock-a-doodle paper. I need to leave again.
Why?
Did you ever read the Uncle Remus stories, Paul? Do you remember Brer Rabbit telling Brer Fox about his laughing place?
Yes.
That's what I call my place up country, my laughing place. There's even a sign over the door that says, Annie's laughing place. Sometimes I do laugh when I go there, but mostly I just scream.
How long will you be gone, Annie?
I can't tell. I brought you meat. Oh yes, I read once about a way you're supposed to find out for sure if someone has been snooping around in your drawers. You tape a small thread around each one, and if you find one broken, why you know, don't you? You know someone's been snooping. You see how easy it is?
Yes, Annie.
I did that with the door, using my own hairs, and this morning I decided to check if all 3 hairs were broken. Not that I'm surprised. I knew you had been out of the room. That's the bad news. I've known for a long, long time, Paul. How many times were you out in all?
Twice.
Tell the truth, Paul.
Just twice, I swear. And never to get away. For Christ's sake, I'm writing a book here, in case you hadn't noticed.
Shut up, Paul.
I went out once to get my pills and a second time for some food. That was it, I swear.
Tell the truth, Paul. How many times did you go out?
I am telling the truth. I swear, I swear.
Oh, liars can swear. Liars love to swear. Well, go ahead and treat me like a fool. Treat a woman who isn't a fool if she were, and that woman will always come out ahead. Let me tell you, Paul, I've put hairs all around this house and have found many of them snapped or just completely gone. Not just on your door, but in the hallway and across my dresser drawer upstairs, in the shed, all over. Now you could go ahead and tell me that you only went out twice, Mr. Smart Guy, and I'll tell you who the fool is.
Annie, how in God's name could I get upstairs?
Oh right, oh sure, I came in here a few days and you managed to get into your wheelchair all by yourself. If you could have done that, you could have gone upstairs, you could have crawled.
Yes, on my broken leg and shattered knee.
You don't want to get smart with me, Paul.
Well, Annie, one of us has to at least try, and you're not doing a very good job. If you just try to see how...
How many times?
2.
The first time to get medication,
Yes.
and the second time to get food.
Yes.
Once for medication, and once for food.
Yes. Yes, Annie. Now, I'm getting dizzy. Can you just...
I investigated under your mattress a little before I woke you up. I expected to find medicine, but the knife? Well, I almost cut myself. But you didn't put it there, did you? No, you went out once for medication and once for food. This must have just magically floated under your mattress. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Have you ever read about the early days at the Kimberley diamond mines, Paul?
Sure, I wrote the book on that one.
Sometimes the native Indians, if they wanted to get away from the big hole without being caught, they would run. And do you know what the British would do if they caught them?
Killed them, I suppose.
No. Killing them would be like getting rid of their precious diamonds. If they caught them, they would make sure they could never run again. The operation was called hobbling, and that's just what I'm gonna do to you.
Annie, oh God, why?
Don't worry, I'm a trained nurse.
Annie, no, no!
Help! There's Paul Sheldon! No!
He's a
Finally.
Paul, what are you doing?
It's done, and it's good, Annie. You were right. The best of the misery bus. Maybe the best thing I ever wrote. Now, I just did a little trick. It's a good one. I learned it from you.
But Paul, you can't. Why are you burning misery?
Too bad you'll never read it. False modesty aside, it was better than good. It was great, Annie. It's the police! Open up! I'm in here! It's Paul Sheldon.